Lord, whatever you're doing in this season, please don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. Lord, whatever you're doing in this season, please don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. Lord, whatever you're doing in this season, don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. So look, y'all, I've been reading in Isaiah, and if y'all want to join me reading Isaiah, please do, because I'm just going through different books of the Bible and I'm reading straight through. But a question hit my spirit this morning, and the question was, do we actually really have free will? I'm like, God, do we really have free will? Because, our end from the beginning, it was already pre-planned. Jesus' death and Judas basically betraying him and everything. Everything was already prophesied. So so do we actually have free will, right? That was a question that I had. And you can let me know down in the comments if you really believe that we have free will. Well, one thing that I read in Isaiah that I found really interesting, it was like it was being discussed, the wickedness of people, right? It was talking about how people basically choose to disobey God and turn away from God. It's like the human race is in so much wickedness and in so much disobedience towards God. It's like he allows certain things to happen. It even talked about how like certain people would die by the sword and stuff like that, and how it's just gonna be a lot of wickedness and death and sorrow basically in mankind because of the way people do. Like, people worship other gods. People don't believe in God. The ones that have heard about God just refuse to turn to him and to follow him, right? And so he just like, okay, well, if you don't want to follow me, I'm gonna leave you to it. I'm gonna leave you to it. I wish you well. And it's just like, and people that's not saved, they can look at the world and say, if God is real, why is there so much wickedness? Why is there so much killing? Why is there so much molestation and rape? Well, because the Bible says that the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. So if we know that it's something wrong that's going on, right? If we know that something bad happened to us when we was younger, you got molested, you got raped, if you've seen somebody get killed, if you've seen somebody suffer from gun violence or somebody suffering from police brutality or something like that, if you know a better way, if you know how to be successful and get out of the hood and change your life for the better, it's not enough people out here laboring to change things. You see what I'm saying? It's easy to sit behind a TV screen and watch the news and shake your head. It's easy to shake your head and point your finger at people that's not doing right. But the part that gets to be a challenge for a lot of people is actually going out there to try to make a difference in the world. Because the Bible says that the land is so wicked that God is going to allow murder. He's going to allow these things because he just like, okay, well, y'all don't want to come to me. You see what I'm saying? So we have to realize that, it's not the secret is not just in having a church on every corner. The secret is also in changing the mindsets of people to have a godly lifestyle, not to just go to church on Sunday, not to just go to church on Wednesday night, but to actually change the mindset and the programming that has happened over generations of wickedness. The Bible even says that kids are like born into wickedness and stuff like that. So it's not just that we're so bad and we're so evil and we don't want to serve God. We also have wicked influences, that come to influence us to continue to do the things that kept our family in bondage. You see what I'm saying? With the bad eating, with the sex, with the perversion and stuff like that, with the pornography, with the drugs, the weed, the drinking. You see what I'm saying? All of this stuff, the adultery, the temptation in the media. Even temptation may be on, on your phone, on Facebook and stuff like that. I've been around guys before, and they'll tell me like, every time I turn on Facebook or something, I always see somebody twerking. They say they always see somebody twerking, or they always see like a butt video or something like that. Well, that's because the enemy wants to keep perversion and sex in front of your eyes, so you can't produce as a man, so you can't focus on providing, so you can't focus on being a good father, so you can't focus on being a leader and a good husband to one woman. He wants to keep your head loose and you just in the clouds, so you can't be that leader and that and that prophet that God has called you to be. You see what I'm saying? And the Bible even says that through the judgment of God, women will lead men. Women will lead everybody. That's also the judgment of God, because a lot of men are not in their place to lead. And it's so many people that's just out of place. You see what I'm saying? To the point where the kids now are just getting more and more corrupt as the generations go on, because nobody's teaching anybody. Nobody's trying to follow God. You see what I'm saying? And so the people that know about the Lord, right? Because you watching me, you may know about the Lord and you may have a desire to teach people about God. Go for it. But you have to realize when you do go for it, this is just a pre-warning, the devil is going to fight you harder. So you have to be equipped for the test. The stuff that you deal with now is going to hit a little bit harder once you start trying to live for the Lord. But you have to just constantly realize that it's a war. Regardless of if you do the right thing or not, you still going to be in the war. The enemy's still going to fight you. So it's best for you to put on the whole armor of God, and you read his word, and you get the weapons of warfare, because you have to realize that the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but they're mighty to the pulling down of strongholds. And you have to cast down everything that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, right? And so in casting those things down, you can also help others to cast those things down that is the enemy, right? It has to start with us, though. It has to start with us being victorious before we can help others to come out of wickedness. That's the only way that the killing is going to stop. The raping is going to stop. The robbing is going to stop. the all of this wickedness is gonna stop, but it has to start with us.